What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Okay, want to talk again about DEC, but this time specifically about the idea for DEC bonds that were teased in the last town hall just about a week ago from when I'm recording this video. Now, you can go check my initial reaction in the 5 biggest takeaways when I talked about the DEC bonds and how disappointed I was in the idea because of the fact that I wanted stuff that was a value add towards the game, like a promo card or something, and this just seemed like a financial tool that was being used and further cementing Splinterlands is really just another DeFi platform rather than a game in which we can buy tokens off the market or acquire tokens off the market and then spend them in a way that helps the economy and helps ourselves, right? Within the game, level up, get cards, whatever the case is, right? So I wasn't a fan of them in that context, but I have become incredibly bullish on them recently, and I don't have any other information. I don't know what, I don't know what the team is planning exactly. I haven't heard anything, but just the thought, running through some numbers and just the thought of eating up a lot of this DEC could go such a long way. Now, I looked at it and I said, okay, well, this is one, once again, going to be something that I would call whale food, right? You're going to have an opportunity here for whales to potentially come in and, buy up a ton of DEC, especially at the lower price that it is right now, and then get a return on it in the future. So I'm going to use a hypothetical number here, which again, has not been confirmed by the team. I have no idea what the return is going to be, but Matt did say something like if you buy 500,000 worth, 500,000 DEC and burn it, then you get some kind of benefit in the future. So that's what Matt said, 500,000 DEC, you get some kind of benefit in the future. I'm going to come out and say that my idea for it, which your team is free to steal if they want, would be, let's say you offer a 20% return, okay? You buy 500,000 DEC, you burn it today, and you get a, not a voucher, but just like a ticket or a coupon or an IOU that says you can redeem this in the future for 600,000 DEC value, right? But you can't actually redeem it for DEC. The DEC is burned and gone, but you can apply it to something like land or something like guilds in the future. So the idea of that seems really cool. Now, bonds traditionally in the traditional financial ecosystem are usually time-based, right? So you buy them, there's 2-year, 3-year, 10-year treasuries, whatever the case is. I don't think we're going to have something that long. My assumption would be if you buy them, then maybe they have like, I don't know, again, I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe they have like a 6-month maturity date. So from the day that you buy them to when you can redeem them, it's 6 months. Or let's say that there's an arbitrary time that the team puts out in the future where they say, once we release land, for example, let's say land comes out by July of next year, Q3. So let's say that once land is released, you'll be able to redeem your DEC bonds for 600,000 DEC worth of value. Right. So obviously we don't have land yet, but we can take a look at guilds because the thing is there's quite a few land plots. There's obviously 150,000 land plots. There's 150, I want to say, regions, right? So yeah, so what it is? 150 regions. There's going to be plenty of castles. There's going to be a lot of land that people would need their DEC for. And I'm assuming, again, there's a lot of assumptions made here, so I'm just trying to be very transparent about that. I'm assuming that land is going to be a major DEC sink. I don't think that you'll be able to just upgrade your land right away. I think it's going to take some time in the way that guilds do. So I am using guilds as kind of like this pseudo template for what land could be like, right? So with guilds, for example, you're going to have a hall, which you're going to need DEC, and you can see just how much DEC is required, right? So let's say to get like a level 10, land, it's going to take you, or max out your land, it's going to take you something similar to like a guild hall where, it'll be easier at first, just 10, 20, 30K, but by the end you need, 500,000, 750,000, and then 1 million DEC. Well, I have 2 plots. I might be interested in buying one right now, burning 500,000 DEC and getting a value worth 20% more, 30% more, even 10% more in the future might be interesting, especially because DEC is at a much lower rate right now. So here's the thing, whether it's only for, whether it's for land or for guilds, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I guess what I'm trying to say is I love the idea of it even being usable for something like guilds, because look at how much is going into guilds. Guild alliances will probably require some kind of DEC contributions as well. And if you're not familiar with that, in the last town hall, they announced kind of like essentially like a level up of guilds, right? So guilds bring 30 people, up to 30 people together, individual players. Well, a guild alliance is essentially what the name is, where a couple of guilds can get together and work cohesively or as a unit to level up buildings, get further benefits within the game, maybe use things like Rooney and all that. So we don't have any information on this, but there's a lot of potential DEC sinks in the future that could really be beneficial to be holding a lot of these DEC bonds. So again, I don't know what the full details are. I'm just giving you my rough idea of what I would do. But again, I don't have all the details. So, it's like, just to make the numbers easy, it's 500,000 DEC to buy today. And then in 6 months, or whenever land comes out, or whenever they feel like the maturity date is appropriate for when, DEC is closer to peg, or whatever the case is, you will be able to redeem it for 600,000 worth of DEC. Now, even better is the fact that this is going towards the product. And I like the fact that Matt was offering this rather than them doing some kind of other printing, because during the town hall, Aggie, just threw out an idea and said, well, what if we, similar to HBD, what if we offered like a 20% return on people who buy DEC and stake DEC? Well, the problem is then you're going to be you're not going to be burning, but you might have to print more DEC or figure out a way for those tokenomics to work to pay out that 20%. And that would probably be the team trying to set something up, or the DAO setting something up, and that's not sustainable. Whereas here, once the DEC is burned, it is gone. Now, there will be another token, and I don't know what it's going to be called. We'll just call it DEC Bond, for example, right? And that token then will probably be able to be redeemed at a later point, where you can go into your guild building, you go into your land, and you'll say like, let's see here. Let's go to the arena, because we actually need to level this up. So I can contribute here. So let's say you can contribute or upgrade your land, and then you can choose. Sorry, I didn't mean to press that. You can choose either like X amount of DEC or X amount of DEC bonds, right? So again, I love that idea because it eats up the DEC out of our way, right now. It helps with the overall economy. And if we just take a look one more time at where DEC currently is at, we have 6.2 billion. Okay, 6.2 billion. So I want to run just a quick number here with you guys. Now, obviously, we still need a good amount of DEC, right? I'm not saying that we don't or shouldn't have any DEC, but check this out. Let's say we wanted to burn like 6 billion of it, right? And we only wanted to have like, about 300 million or so in the mix. And if you watch my previous video, from a transactional volume perspective, 300 million is a lot closer to where we need to be than 6 billion. So let's say we wanted to burn 6 billion. So you take 6 billion DEC. How many bonds would we have to sell? So you divide that by the 500,000, and all of a sudden that's 12,000 bonds, which seems like a lot. And yes, that's a significant amount of capital. Because let's just see. Hold on, 6 billion. What's the market cap of DEC? 0.00063. This is like less than $4 million worth of value. And again, the price of DEC is going to go up as more and more gets bought off the market. But point being is that 12,000 DEC bonds. Okay, 150,000 land plots, many guilds with many buildings to upgrade. Talk of guild alliances being, put out there in the future as well. So 12,000 DEC bonds actually doesn't seem that out of the question. And you do that right now, or let's say within the next 2 months, right? Obviously they're not going to get it out. Maybe they'll get it out in December, but if not December, then hopefully early January. And we're talking about within like 2 months from now, if they can get it out by mid or even late January, and people eat this stuff up, especially a lot of the whales. Again, I have 2 land plots. I might buy one for each plot. Who knows, right? Because to me, it's kind of a deal right now. If I know that I'm gonna be upgrading the land in the future, so why not buy it now? I get yield on it. It's not like my money, or it's not like the value that I'm putting in doesn't appreciate over time. It's still working for me because I know that when I'm able to use it, it'll be of a higher value. I don't know. 12,000 doesn't seem like that much to me. And again, I know it's like $4 million, and it's not a small amount of money in a very deep bear market, which I think is only going to get worse as we head into 2023. But at the end of the day, this game is still filled with a lot of players who have a lot of hype for the different things coming down the line, namely being land, and then obviously guilds and guild alliances as something else. So this could be something where it's just like maybe your guild gets together and says, okay, well, 500,000 DEC might be too much for a single person, but you divide that by, I don't know, 500,000. Oops. 500,000 divided by the 30 people in our guild, for example. That's 16,000 DEC times 0.0063. That's $10. That's $10 per person to buy into one of these right now. I mean, maybe I'm gonna go talking to my guild chat right now. Again, we don't have the details on this yet, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's $10 US. The entire guild gets in on it. Entire guild gets in on maybe a couple of them. Who knows? I mean, this is a conversation that I'm gonna open up to our guild because check it out. Look at us. We are still only at a level 3. I'm sorry. Where are we at? We're level 6 arena. So we still need 500, 750, a million, 1.5 million. I mean, we could buy several DEC bonds, and that's just for our arena. We also need the barracks, which is at level 5, and you're going to see a similar type of increase. And we also need our store, which is at level 5. So, and we are one of the top guilds. Let's see, where are we at right now? We are a number 12 guild. So if you're a guild out there that's looking to level up and you're, in the 50s or 60s or 100 or whatever, but you are in this game for the long haul, well, you're going to need to spend that DEC in the future. Why not get it now while it's cheap, let it appreciate over time, and then spend it? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Just there seem to be a lot of potential sinks for this DEC bond in the future. It's not just going to be land. It could potentially be guilds and guild alliances, and who knows what else they might come up with in the future. So I've actually become very, very bullish on the idea of DEC bonds. And so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Obviously, you can tell that my focus has been on figuring out how to get through this DEC supply, which I would expect that's the team's main focus right now too. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the DEC bonds idea when you first heard it? What did you think? What do you think now? Like, did this convince you? Am I losing my mind? Am I spending too much time thinking about DEC? Let me know. I'll catch you all on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.